The following program contains violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, and, oh my god, why are you even watching this? Just run away. This shit is going to give you nightmares.
Recorded live at the Jerrad Show studios in Tampa, Florida. It's another episode of the Jerrad Show. And now, here's your host, Jerrad Suarez.
That's right. I'm your host, Jerrad Suarez. And I'm back again for another episode of the Jerrad Show. It's Wednesday, November 29th, 2017. I got a lot to talk about tonight, and I feel like shit. Last night I mentioned on the podcast that I had some sort of sinus issue. After dinner, I just went into like a sneezing fit. It's gotten progressively worse. However, there will not be a time that I cannot do this show because I'm sick. I just did the show last week. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, I guess. And I was so sick. I was fucking just really sick. I was blowing my nose every couple of seconds. The inaugural JFK Jerrad and Frank cast that I did, that was probably the worst that I was feeling. It was just a really bad head cold, nothing serious. I am slightly more concerned about this sickness. Yesterday, I started feeling like a tickle in my sinuses. And this morning when I woke up, I felt like it was a headache of some sort, like just like a light headache that was, it felt like I was about to get a headache. And progressively through the day, it got worse and worse. And then about around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I started feeling really bad. I can't even really explain it. Just a really bad, like, weak feeling. So I went to go lay down. And I laid down in bed for about 2 or 3 hours. I went to sleep and woke up with the only thing I could tell that it felt like was a fever. And my head, my sinuses, my upper sinuses were killing me. It felt like someone had hit me in the head with a hammer right on the forehead. And it was very sore, tender, not too bad of a pressure feeling inside, but it felt more like sore, like being hit in the head. I wasn't hit in the head, so I'm thinking that it's got progressively worse. I did take some ibuprofen about 2 hours ago, and that's probably the only reason why I'm sitting here right now. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and I took the ibuprofen, and my head was hurting so bad, and it felt like more of like I was hit than actual like sinus headache or whatever. And I found that putting ice, see, there's that pop again. Damn it. What was it? The ice. I wound up putting ice on my forehead, and that made it feel a little bit better. And then finally the ibuprofen kicked in. But I was feeling really terrible, and I didn't know if I was going to make it to the show tonight. So here I am anyways. I still feel like shit. And I told my girlfriend, I said, she said, are you going to do a podcast still tonight? I said, yeah, I'm going to do a podcast tonight because, I mean, if you think about it, there should be no reason why I cannot do a podcast. Even if I'm in the hospital, I can do the podcast from my phone. It'll sound a lot worse than doing it here in the studio, but there should never be a reason why I cannot do the podcast. Maybe I'm incapacitated. Maybe I can't breathe or talk on my own. And in that instance, I will probably try to do a podcast as best as I can. Maybe have the doctor talk on the podcast with me, or the nurse talk with me on the podcast if it gets too worse or too bad, the sickness. I am a little bit worried about the sickness because somebody I know and that I've worked with actually came down with a sinus infection of their own recently, and it was viral. It was a viral infection, and wound up having problems with the left side of his face, and it was like he couldn't move his muscles around on his face. He couldn't open his eye. Couldn't, his left side of his face was making him talk like this. And he went into the hospital, and the doctor looked at him, and he knew there was something wrong immediately, but he could still feel his face. He still had feeling. So that meant that it was not a stroke, and it was, unfortunately, something that terrifies the shit out of me. He is diagnosed with Bell's palsy. And I know that is it can be devastating. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this page so I don't get anything wrong here. It is a neurological disorder, meaning it has something to do with the nerves. Okay, this person is attempting to show his teeth and raise his eyebrows with Bell's palsy on his right side. The left side of the image, notice how the forehead is not spread. Yeah, so this guy he basically has no ability to move the right side of his face at all. You can see he's trying as hard as he possibly can to make a big smile, and his left eye is open wide, his eyebrow is perked up, and the other side is just dead. It says the condition normally gets better by itself, with most achieving normal to near normal function. It says other conditions that cause facial weakness are brain tumor, stroke, Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, which is another different neurological disease or disorder, and then Lyme disease, which, that's terrifying in itself. Looks like it's just something to do with the facial nerves, and that scares me because I don't have any really symptoms besides something's wrong with my fucking sinuses. And now that I heard about the guy that I know being diagnosed with Bell's palsy from a viral infection like recently, is pretty concerning to me. So it is very possible that because if I even see a hint of problem or issue here, I am 100% going to the doctor, to the hospital. There will be no waiting for a doctor's appointment to come to fruition. It's just me going straight to the emergency room at the first sign of anything. But that's what I'm worried about now. So that's where I'm at, and I can still do this show, so it's not a problem for me, really, that much. Thankfully, I'm not in as much pain as I was earlier. It was pretty bad. I was moaning, and it got so bad that I had to put ice on it. So let's get down to some of the top stories of the day. There's a lot of things going on today that I definitely have an opinion on, pretty much all of them. First off, Cardi B, the singer Cardi B, who does Bodak Yellow, which is a fucking awesome song. It's the baddest song I've ever heard of 2017. Baddest with a BH. So Cardi B does Bodak Yellow, and there's an instance in the chorus where she says, "Cut a inward off, so don't get comfortable." Victoria's Secret models were videotaped in their dressing room. Looked like they were all in these robes. They were singing Cardi B's song, and every single one of them said the N-word, sang along with it, and now people are freaking out. Like, Cardi B posted some tweet where she was all pissed off, called all the Victoria's Secret models bitches, and this is very interesting to me. As a Latin man, I kind of see where, you know, these people that think that it's okay to use racist terms, it's kind of disgusting to me. I've never been a big fan of it. I've had some friends that thought it was funny to use racial terms, racial slurs, and it doesn't have to be just black people. I've heard all kinds of stuff from people that I have associated with in my life, and I've always just found it disgusting. Personally, I think, though, in this instance, that it is wrong for not the Victoria's Secret models, but for anybody that's bitching about these girls singing a song, okay? If Cardi B really had a problem with the N-word, why would she put it in her song? She's made tons of money off this song, and if she doesn't think that there are white people that are singing along, in fact, I'm quite certain that there are small young white kids, like little girls, that probably have sang this song, and probably would never use the N-word, but because Cardi B used it in her song, they want to sing along because it's a fun song. You know, like I said, it's the baddest song of 2017. But I think that they can go fuck themselves. I mean, Cardi B, you can go fuck yourself. Honestly, seriously, you're gonna put a song out there with words in it that offend you, but since you say it, it's not offensive to you. That word should be offensive to you all the time, I feel like. With me, it's offensive every time. I mean, even when I hear it in your song, I would rather hear it edited out or say something else. I mean, you're supposedly a lyricist. You can't find another word for a man that you're going to cut off. You have to call him the N-word. I mean, I just don't get it. I think it's wrong to use it in any instance. Even, you know, Ice Cube and all that stuff. It was unnecessary. I mean, I understand they were doing it at a different time back then, but it's just, I mean, it's not that it's unnecessary. It's just wrong. I'm sure that Cardi B has been attacked using that word verbally. I'm sure somebody has called her the N-word, and she might have gotten mad. She might have got hurt. But I just don't think that it's right for you to say, okay, now that all these girls were shown on videotape singing your song, they are pieces of shit because they sang your song. I mean, and it's not like it's some redneck song, you know, some redneck N-word hating song, where I'm sure they have those out there. If they were singing something crazy like that, then yeah, of course, that's disgusting. That's despicable. But they're fans of yours, and you just called them trash. It's fucked up. I don't like it. I think that if you make some sort of music, and people like it, they should be able to sing the song. They should. I mean, you made it. It's you made the bed of nails. Now lay on it. So that's what I have to say about that. Speaking of laying on a bed of nails, Matt Lauer was fired from the Today Show today. That was crazy. You know, I mean, the guy's been on there since 1998 at the anchor desk, and before that, he was on there for another 4 years before that as a reporter. And apparently, this has been going on for some time. There was a complaint made on Monday, and NBC was like, yeah, we got to do something about this, and they kicked him to the curb. They're not saying exactly what went on. At least I haven't seen anything on exactly what the complaint was. But I did see a video of Katie Couric from a couple of years ago when she left the Today Show. She was being interviewed, and the guy asked her, what is the most annoying thing about Matt Lauer? And she said he pinches her ass. And I was like, well, yeah, there you go. That's it. You are a fucking creepo, man. Like, who thinks that's right to just, grab somebody on the ass, especially in a workplace environment, some place where you're paid to be professional, and you're going around grabbing ass? Like, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're an adult. You're not like a little kid that's going around poking girls that you like, or pulling their hair, or pinching their butts. I don't even think kids pinch. It sounds gross when I say that. Kids don't do that. So what the fuck is wrong with this guy, man? I mean, could you imagine if that's your girlfriend or wife, and she's going to work, and she's getting her ass pinched by Matt Lauer? Oh, man. I would be furious. I would be so fucking mad. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, maybe I would go after the guy's job. I mean, that's ridiculous. He's getting paid, and not only is he getting paid, he's the number one top paid male reporter in news. Matt Lauer, he's been around forever. So I don't know. I think NBC made a good choice in reacting quickly, and squashing that right out the gate was a good idea, I think. I mean, because, once one comes out, it's just a waterfall of victims that come out that have been, assaulted or harassed. I mean, pinching somebody's ass, that's Katie Couric. That's not like a fucking intern where you might, think that you could get away with it because you're in a, higher position, but you're pinching your fucking co-anchor's ass. That's ballsy. That's really ballsy. I don't know. I can't say any more on that. It's crazy that people in this day and age think that they can get away with doing shit like that. So hopefully, everything that's going on right now with sexual assault and harassment, and all these people that are getting just, their careers destroyed because of their actions. Hopefully this culls the sexual assault and the sexual harassment in the workplace, not only in the workplace, but in life. I mean, guys need to understand that, you can't do that. And I think a lot of guys do understand that. There's no issue with that. They understand that that's fucking wrong. But, I mean, I guess some of these guys just have to fucking learn the hard way. Like Matt Lauer. Moving on. Let's move on from that. Avengers. The Avengers Infinity War trailer came out today. And, again, there are problems with that. People are freaking out about that. I thought it was fucking awesome to see Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, Thor. I mean, all these fucking major characters that I grew up loving, they're all going to be on the fucking screen at once. It's going to be great. It's going to be epic. It could be too much. I mean, you can always add too many ingredients to a delicious dish and ruin it. But the coolest fucking thing that I thought was Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in it, which is, I mean, that's fucking awesome. Dave Bautista is going to be in the biggest movie of this decade, probably. I mean, Avengers Infinity War, it's going to be insane. But to take it back and to let you know what people are pissed off about, there is a scene where there are a couple of the superheroes. I believe it's the Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Captain America. I don't know what let me see. It was the Black Panther, and then whoever his female companion is. Let's see if I can see the Black Panther cast. Anyways, it's whoever the female is in that movie. Let's see if I can pull up the cast right here. I think it's Denai Guerrera, who plays Michonne on The Walking Dead, but it might be Lupita. Let's see. I think that is, yeah. Okay, yeah. So this woman looked like who I saw in the trailer. I guess her name would be Nakala or Nakia. Let's see. All right, possibly. Okay, anyways, all those characters were running through the jungle in Wakanda in this scene, and you've got the Hulk in the back, and it's a fucking badass scene. But people are having problems with the fact that Black Panther is the king of Wakanda, and he is all the way to the right of the group, and Captain America, the white guy, is, he's sticking his shield in the air, and he's leading the pack of these people, and people are like, why? He's the king of Wakanda. Shouldn't Black Panther be in front? This is because he's black, isn't it? See, I think sometimes people get a little bit too out of control. I mean, it's a fucking superhero movie, so calm down, people. He's definitely a fucking badass character, and they're not making him look not badass. But I believe Captain America led the team before in the last one, Civil War. He led one of the teams. I don't know. I think people sometimes they just look for whatever they can to bitch about. So let's keep going. Let's move past the Avengers. I personally enjoyed the trailer, but that's neither here nor there. Go look at it yourself and find out for yourself. Make that decision on your own, people. Last night after I got done with the show, I saw on the news that the Seminole Heights Killer, the serial killer that was terrorizing a neighborhood here in Tampa. I'm not saying any word correctly, am I? He was caught. He was caught at a McDonald's. I guess he had given a bag with a gun in it to his manager, and I guess he worked there, and he was going to go to the Amscot and get a payday loan. So the manager wound up calling the police and saying, this guy has a gun, and he might be the Seminole Heights serial killer. And turns out he was. Only we don't really know. I guess they're still investigating it, and I don't think they're going to release any information. But this guy is apparently getting charged with the all 4 killings, and it says that 11 hours ago, let's pull this up from Fox 13, it says Tampa serial killer suspect used the same gun in all 4 killings. So at this time, they have definitely charged him with it, and they're doing an investigation. It says he was cooperative, but did not tell us why he was doing this, said Tampa Police Chief Brian Dungan. And yeah, I'm not going to say the guy's name because, fuck him. He's a real asshole. He was 24 years old, and he comes from a pretty affluent family. It says all over, the internet, something about him, being a professional in the sports industry, even saying that he worked with the New York Mets at one time. Yeah, it looks like he committed the murders with a .40 caliber Glock, and that's all they needed. They just needed that gun to match it up with the bullets in the victims, it's just a horrific story, and I'm glad that the neighborhood can finally get some sleep, and they can finally sleep easily and not have to worry about, another killing going on in their neighborhood, which is, it's got to be, just terrifying. I know a couple of people that live down there, and I tried to get them on after the last murder just to talk about what it was like down there, but it was so stressful to the people that I talked to that not one of them wanted to talk about it. Not one of them wanted to come on the show and talk about it. And I mean, I guess that's because he's still on the loose. At that point, he was still on the loose. So yeah, I mean, why would you want to come on and talk about a serial killer when you live in that fucking neighborhood? I totally understand it. But now, after the fact, I would like to talk to somebody about it, about what they went through and what their experiences were with this whole ordeal. And I'm gonna try and make it happen. But it's a touchy subject, Moving on. Now this shit is a little bit. This is crazy. We talked about this last night. Bitcoin hit $10,000 for the first time, which was crazy because the first time I ever saw Bitcoin, it was $65. And if I would have jumped in then, I would be so fucking rich right now. It's crazy. I mean, it started at 6 cents a Bitcoin. Could you fucking imagine that? 6 cents. But today, I guess, Bitcoin went absolutely apeshit after the news last night of it going to 10,000. So it went all over the fucking place today. It jumped up to 11,000 and back down to 8,000. And then went up to 9,000, went up back over 10,000, and came back and settled down. I'm not looking at it right now. I guess I could try to pull it up. Bitcoin value, price, there we go, value. Yeah, so right now it is at 10,531. And it's just like the graph from when it started in 2013 to now, in this year, 2017, it jumped an insane amount. Like this graph looks like a fucking hockey stick. It just goes. It's nice and level. There's a couple little tiny spikes in there and drops, but it's pretty just straight edged all along until you get to 2017, and then bam, it just fucking shoots up. So people are freaking out. They're wanting to buy it. And people are selling it, and I'm sure that's causing all kinds of craziness in the market. But right now, as I'm looking at this right now, it looks like it's settled out at 10,531, which is still a lot of fucking money. These last couple of things, I don't know if I want to talk about them. I have a couple of two more stories that I wrote down earlier, and I'm not sure if I want to talk about them. Okay, let's do this. Let's talk about the first one. The first one is North Korea shot off intercontinental ballistic missile last night, and it didn't go too far. It didn't go too far away from North Korea. It landed somewhere around 600 miles away from North Korea in the ocean. The scary part about this rocket that they shot off last night is that it went about 2,800 miles into the atmosphere, into space, and then came back down. It went higher than what the International Space Station orbits the Earth at. And it's pretty concerning. I believe that they have announced that a missile that can do that can travel somewhere around, it's got a range of somewhere around 8,100 miles. And that will definitely make it possible for North Korea to hit a nuke into the United States, which is absolutely terrifying. They're saying that they will not do anything like that. There should be no kind of worries of that because they have no interest in attacking any other country that is not going to step on their rights or infringe upon their rights of having the nuclear defense system. But let's be real here. It's a nuclear attack system. Kim Jong-un really wants to fucking kill Americans. He really, really, really hates Donald Trump, and it's scary, man. This could be it. We could see a rocket land somewhere over in the West Coast somewhere. I have friends over in Seattle, and I have friends up all the way up to Seattle, all the way down to San Diego. I have family in San Diego, so that's very worrisome. Let's hope that the tweeter-in-chief does not fuck with this guy too much now, and piss him off enough to want to shoot a fucking nuke off. Speaking of the tweeter-in-chief, Donald Trump went ahead and fucked up real good this morning. He retweeted something from Britain Strong or Britain First or something like that, which is just this fucking ridiculous fake news website where he retweeted some videos of things that were mislabeled. One of them, in fact, that I can remember was a video where some Muslims got up on top of a roof and were trying to pull some kids off of a roof and throw them off the roof. And I believe they did throw them off the roof. And it was somehow labeled something about recent ISIS homosexual attack where they, throwing gay people off roofs or throwing gay kids off roofs. And in fact, it wasn't. It had nothing to do with that. It was something about the Egyptian coup back when these kids were in support of the guy that they were trying to take out of office in Egypt. And I guess these guys were like, fuck these kids. We're throwing these motherfuckers off a roof. Which is, that's barbaric. You're throwing fucking teenager off of a roof because you don't like him. You don't like what he says. You don't like what he supports, so you're going to end his life. That's barbarism, folks. That's not like the haircutting kind of barbarism, but barbaric in nature. So, crazy shit's going on right now. Again, I feel great for the people of Seminole Heights that they can finally relax and not have to worry about this fucking psycho anymore. And, Bitcoin, that's crazy, but the shit with North Korea and Donald Trump is just getting absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. It's pretty ridiculous. And I will say here on the Jerrad Show, on the end of the Jerrad Show here, I did support Donald Trump for president. Absolutely. Did I vote for him? You don't know. It's a secret. But I definitely supported him. I think it's hilarious that he's our fucking president. And I love that. I think it's so fucking hilarious to see him be our president and then the entire country that hates him just losing their fucking mind. It's so great. It's like they accomplished the biggest troll that mankind could have ever accomplished was putting Donald Trump into office. Fucking awesome. I enjoy it. He still does fucked up stupid shit, and I think he's, an idiot. He's a fucking idiot. But I love that he's our fucking president. It's so entertaining. I don't know. It's not even just entertaining from his point. It's entertaining from the people that hate him. They make this all interesting as well. So, thank you. Thank you for hating Donald Trump and making this an interesting ride for me. Don't like it? Tweet me at Jerrad Show or Facebook me, facebook.com/Jerrad Show. Or go to JerradShow.com where you can get all of my social media on the top there and a convenient little player that lets you play every single episode of The Jerrad Show. Thanks a lot for listening tonight and every night that you listen to The Jerrad Show. I'll be back again tomorrow unless I have Bell's palsy and go to the hospital because that would be horrific, right? We'll see. Anyways, have a good night, people.